Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Doomie Grunt coming back to you with another little video of Doomie Goes Out. Last time we covered a battleship, and the series actually debuted with Toys R Us, but the people have spoken for more. Today we're going to take a look at Sears. This particular Sears, if you couldn't tell already, is attached to Hanes Mall, and remains a well-stocked Sears. Sorta. While we're here, I'll give out some skimmed down details about Sears' history, and for a company that's been around for 125 years, it is going to have a lot, so bear with me. Sears, Roebuck & Company started back in the late 1880s, coming together as a mail-order catalog. Through the early 1900s, Sears practically became the 20th century Amazon, selling practically everything. Craftsman tools, drugs and narcotics, cars, even houses, some of which are still standing today. Despite financial issues early on, presumably driven on by the Great Depression, Sears soldiered on and had a firm hold on markets throughout the country in the 50s, and even had a healthy line of department stores in urban areas. In the 70s and 80s, Sears began relocating to malls, often leaving behind their original urban roots. In the 70s, they also constructed the Sears Tower in Chicago, which would serve as their headquarters until it was sold sometime in 2009, becoming rebranded as the Willis Tower. In the 90s, Sears terminated its merchandise catalog as profits from it began to wane. This proved to be a big mistake in the long run, as the advent of the internet and Amazon came into the 21st century, and over time, Sears began to degrade in popularity and performance, and even quality, as the early 2000s rolled in. Some concepts were rolled to keep the company afloat, like Sears Hometown, Sears Essentials, and Sears Grand, but these diversified concepts were too little too late. And eventually, the death blow would be dealt when Kmart merged Sears in 2004 for the low price of $11 billion. Sears never recovered since and has slowly been run to the ground. In 2018, there's much speculation on whether or not Sears will make it to 2019, or if they'll even make it to Christmas. Although I suppose the bankruptcy will answer that for me. Okay, with that out of the way, I suppose I can start talking about my overall opinions on Sears. I still get a faint hint of nostalgia walking around Sears. I have memories of wandering craftsman tool departments after being dragged up and down the kids section while Mom would look for school clothes that ultimately fell apart after a week. I doubt that has anything to do with the quality of the clothes and more to do with how destructive a young boy can be. Even then, thinking back, Sears was a rather weird store. In Oak Hollow Mall, it was traditional department store upstairs, and then beds, appliances, and hardware store downstairs. It also had an auto center built into the store, which we never really paid attention to. Here at Hanes Mall, this Sears is much bigger, with shoes, Land's End, which does look kind of depressing here, and clothes downstairs, while more clothes, luggage, beds, appliances, electronics, and craftsmen upstairs. The Auto Center, which features an Avis car rental position, stands alone as an out parcel. Of all the times I've gone into Sears on my own accord, I think only once or twice did any associates ever stop to ask if I needed help. And bear in mind, in my travels, I've been to a lot of Sears stores by now. On the other end of the mall is Macy's, and immediately when I walked in there, someone would stop and ask if I needed help. JCPenney, the associates would already be helping someone else. Not here at Sears. The employees would be chatting to each other while I look over merchandise with that indecisive look on my face, like a secret shopper. I know Sears and Kmart are owned by the same company, but I personally believe Sears has the worst electronics department of the two. I mean, Look at it. It's not well stocked. Things aren't clearly labeled. If it weren't for those plasma TVs in the back, I'd feel like I was in 2004. In fact, when I visited Haines Mall during Hurricane Michael, which you might see later on, Sears had no TVs left and just a bunch of vacuum cleaners in their place, and the electronics were really downsized. But as a plus, I didn't see a single bucket out in Sears during the hurricane. So this building, for how dated it looks, is still in decent shape maintenance-wise. So good job there. Recently, I just found out that this particular Sears at Haines Mall was bought out by Navant. For those of you wondering, Navant is the health provider out here in the NC Piedmont Triad region, so I can only assume Sears will shut down very soon, although it was missed in the recent announcement of bankruptcy, which I glanced over. Closer details on this says that Sears will remain leased until October 2020. So much for that bet. Okay, I'll admit, I've bought some things from Sears. Haven't you? Mostly bare essentials, like pants that I could get dirty on the job. Although oddly enough, I did discover Sears still sells cameras. Mostly potatoes from Vivitar, but cameras nonetheless. Want an action camera but don't want a GoPro? Go get a Vivitar potato from Sears, and express your gratitude by filming Paul Blart. Arguably, the most exciting part of any Sears video is the hardware department. Craftsman tools, power tools, garden tools, lawnmowers, yard tractors, a new chainsaw for Jason Voorhees. You name it, they appear to still have it. Though how long will that last? Sears sold some of their few profitable assets, Craftsman tools, to Black & Decker, who is now selling them at Ace Hardware, Lowe's, Home Depot. One of the only draws for Sears can now be found anywhere. Like, damn Sears, get your act together. Now you're bankrupt and hoping someone will bail you out in 2019, all thanks to that prick Eddie Lampert, who's now walking away from the company with millions in his pocket while everybody else gets the boot, straight to the jaw. With each passing year, Sears seems less and less likely to survive. If they do make it to 2020, I might have a weird idea to do. Might anger a few people, so you have been warned. But by all means, if you want to see me do something crazy in Sears, then tell me. I might just do it. Well, I believe we've seen all there is to see in Sears, and I'm getting a little bored of goofing off. Might be back when it closes, might not. We'll find out eventually. So, with Sears covered, I'm gonna head into the mall and do some shopping. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like, share, say hi, compliment or criticize. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you want more, do subscribe. You might just see Haines Mall in GoPro quality. If you want to talk to me directly, then there is an official Dead Malls Discord organized by a man named Sal, who runs some pretty serious Dead Mall content. You can also speak with Ace's Adventures, Wally B, Jack from deadmalls.com, Retail Archaeology, finally, and many more names. It's a great community to talk about dead malls and such, so do drop by if you're interested. I'll have a link somewhere in the description. Well, until next time, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you and Sears farewell.